the shaitan. The sun will rise kingdom of Allah, anything. It's us that we have a certain limit. You need to start tasting it. Tasting. That's why the Prophet said, ذَاقَ طَعْمُ الْإِيمَانِ. He will taste the sweetness of Iman. This is the level that you need to start practicing by surrendering. I don't have no problem that you take your time in the first phase of the question. I have no problem. You ask any question. Why Allah has the right to tell me what to do? Why? Ask all these questions. Why the Prophet is this? Ask all these questions. You have the right. After you get this question, you start surrendering yourself. You become Muslim. And what does a Muslim? Surrender, submit, obey with sincerity and love. That's it. What we do in our life, you want to go see a doctor, you Google him. Yeah, the rating is this and whatever. Then you are convinced he's a good doctor. You go to him. If he told you stick your tongue, why? What do you mean why? Stick your tongue. Why? I want to check your... Okay, take off your shirt. Why? Get out. Get out of my office. I want to waste my time with you. And my doctor told me that. One time I was there talking to him and he told me to do something. I said, are you sure? I was going to tell him, wow. And I said, are you sure? He said, yes. What do you mean I'm not sure? And he was so upset and offended until I said, I'm sorry, man. And I said, subhanAllah, the same person, if Allah told him something, he will say, why? Oh. So once you are convinced, surrender. I know most of us, we didn't taste that feeling yet. You know what is blocking us? To surrender. That's why your job in Islam, just to be sure that the Prophet said that hadith or not. If he said it, go for it. Don't question, don't. Once you surrender, Allah will open the gate of the wisdom and knowledge that you start crying yourself. And that knowledge and that wisdom, it doesn't come out of your knowledge. This is another extra gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهِ وَيُعَلِّمُكُمُ اللَّهِ. Let's stop, inshallah. I hope that we benefit. Knowledge is ibadah. Seek it, inshallah. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this night Laylat al-Qadr, inshallah. Aisha radiallahu anha asked the Prophet. Look, the companions, mashallah, they did the job for us. They used to ask questions. She said, Ya Rasulullah, if I'm lucky enough to witness the night of power, give me one dua to do. He told her what? Quli, say, Allahumma innaka afoon tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anni. Oh Allah, you are the most forgiving. You love to forgive. Forgive me. If Allah forgive you, that's it. He gives you everything. Allahumma innaka afoon tuhibbul afwa. So inshallah, if you have any question, we take few. MashaAllah, Doctor, I'm sorry if I did something wrong in your area, correct me.
I will tell you something loud and clear, that whatever you mentioned about fasting, in 2016, the guy who got the Japanese scientist who got the
Yes.
prize in medicine, exactly what
Come here, say it to the sisters, because I don't want them to be upset. The brothers is okay to be upset, but not the sisters.
It's such an honor. So in 2016, the Japanese scientist, his name is Yoshinori Ohsumi, he got a Nobel Prize in medicine because he did studies on intermittent fasting. So what he found out, that when people, they fast for more than 12 hours, exactly as the Sheikh mentioned, that breaking your fast, keeping some time to have your shohar. So what happens, there is an aging pigment that's called lipofuscin pigments. That is an aging pigment that causes the cell to decay and degenerate. So what happens is that the lipofuscin pigment, it gets dissolved somehow, and it actually slows down the aging process. That's the reason people, they live longer. So they also figure out that calorie restriction, it actually on rats, mice, and then even humans, that it causes your 40% increase in your lifespan and longevity. And the most important reason is your body starts detoxing. It starts actually shedding off all the toxins. So the lipofuscin pigment, they started studying it, and they figured out that that pigment actually diminishes when people are fasting, and they have to do it for like 30 days or 35 days for an extended period of time. Plus, you do the same kind of fasting, every month.
Yes.
For a few days, like 3 days or 4 days.
Monday and Tuesday.
Right. And the reason is that our ancestors, they were hunters and gatherers. For 2-3 days, they didn't have, for a few hours, few days, they didn't have Vons and Ralphs. They used to fast. They didn't have the food. And despite, starving, they had to run to catch an animal. So they had to run. It doesn't mean that you just sleep, as the Imam mentioned, Sheikh mentioned. You have to be active, because if you have to catch an animal, you have to run and be physically fit. Thank you very much.
Jazakallah khairan, Doctor. MashaAllah. But I want to add one thing. Remember, if you are doing the right fasting, please, even if you want to do it after Ramadan, when you have those symptoms, don't go and take painkiller or antihistamine. Just be patient. You are doing great job. You should applaud yourself, because it means it's working. It stays only for a few days, and this. And number 2, not to eat at night. So now if I see you eating at night, you will be in trouble, especially upstairs. Don't. Wallah, I'm talking serious. The only thing is permissible at night if you want is water. Let your body rest, because he has job to do during the day. What he said is that. Then number 3, stay away from meat as much as you can, especially in Ramadan. The lie that they are telling you, white meat is good. There is nothing called white meat. The real white meat is what? According to the Quran, is fish. Chicken is not white meat. Chicken is like red meat. I know somebody said, is he a sheikh or a doctor? Or you can eat. I believe that is the job that we need to do as sheikh. If you want to speak, you go these areas. At least, I don't want to talk to you the psychological part. Sometimes when people come into me in the case of divorce or khula, in the case of khula, what does it mean? What does it mean, khula? She left him. Then somebody come to me asking for the ruling. Always the fiqh, which is good. You have to know the ruling, otherwise you're going to fall into haram. Then I told the brother, forget about that. Come see me. He said, for what? We need to do some counseling and healing. He said, Sheikh, I'm strong. Don't worry, I know. I said, brother, stop. You are stubborn. Because to me now, I'm not dealing with him as Sheikh. I can't tell him, it's for my own sake, by the way, to give him the answer in 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Counseling is headache. Why? That's why if you don't know what to do counseling, don't do it. Because what does it mean counseling? The person in front of you is bringing a lot of negative energy. That's why sometimes when you are listening to somebody with a problem, you still find you want to fight with him. Because of the negative energy carrying. So you know how to distance yourself from that. So when the person is telling me, no, I'm okay, what I am looking me in front of me is somebody in pieces, broken. And here they call it in medicine what? And the same in the case of divorce. The woman, she comes and I told her, you need some counseling and healing. She said, no, I'm okay. And there's, the ego. But me, I see broken pieces. Because here they call it in medicine what? Emotional rejection. One time one brother, he told me, his wife left him or whatever, and something happened to him and he went to the emergency room. Laying down like this. Doctor came to him, he said, what's wrong? A broken heart. And really they call it broken heart, not broken mind. That's why the worst thing to tell this person to give him a lecture. His problem is not his mind. His problem is what? His heart. And when you have a broken heart, it's like you have a broken bone. What do you do with a broken bone? You know, the orthopedic, he doesn't do anything, and he got a lot of money. I am hard on the doctors. I love doctors. You know what the orthopedic he does in the broken? He doesn't do anything. He just put them together to be sure that they are even. Then what he does? What? A cast. And he told you, we'll see you what? How much? 6 months. He doesn't do anything. And here is the secular explanation. He said it heals itself. What do you mean it heals itself? Allah heals it through what? There is one cell in the body. When we are created, Allah put it there. It goes and sleeps for 80 years, 90 years, until you break something. Then this cell start working. So 6 months, he doesn't do anything. So emotional rejection is somebody that is broken. So he needs healing. So now you don't tell them the fiqh. This person, you need to be healed, and she needs to be healed. And the first phase of healing is what? When the person starts crying. So the counselor has to do something to make the person cry. That's why I don't have clinics in my office. I remove them, somebody bring them back. The worst thing is to give a clinic to somebody who's crying. I want them to cry. And when they are crying, what do you need? I'm giving you this information because you did a good job in donations. What you have to do when somebody is crying? MashaAllah. A hug. Just give them a hug. When you give them the hug, what happens? They cry more. And that is the healing. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when we are broken, it's a sadness inside. Huzn. And that huzn has to come out. Otherwise it turns into depression and so on. Here is the doctor can tell you that. So you need to get it out. How it comes out? Through tears. That's why tears are called in Arabic al-abarat. Al-huzn ya'bur min al-dakhil ila al-kharij. And you feel good. You don't do anything. Hug, the person start crying more. And next session, they will come crying less. Third session less, fourth, fifth, he's done. But people, they don't do that. Everyone, no, I'm okay. No, I'm never. Are you okay? I can see your face, man. You cannot even sleep. And broken, by the way, it's not new term. It's mentioned by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's what I'm telling you. The hadith of the Prophet target the 3 dimensions. What the Prophet said about divorce. He said that the women were created from what? Not in a rib. Min dila'in. Nobody wants to say it because you are scared from upstairs. I will say it. They are created from a rib, bent rib. Does not mean they are crooked. One time, I think we were given khutbah in Oklahoma, and somebody was speaking, and one brother, I told brother, yeah, you see, they are crooked. They are curved. They are, no.
They are crooked, but they forgot
no.
the rib came from.
Okay, that is the beauty. That is the beauty. This hadith, I'm not here to be apologetic. This hadith is beautiful. So the Prophet ﷺ, what he's trying to tell you, live with her according to her nature and attitude. And he said, if you want to fix her, it's like to try to fix that bent rib. If you try to fix it, what will happen? You break it. وَكَسْرُهَا إيش؟ طَلَاقُهَا. So when you divorce her, you broke her. Regardless how much we are strong. That's why in the time of khula, the man is broken also. They call it emotional rejection. There is a funny story about the hugging. One time I was counseling one woman, not Muslim, And after a few sessions, she told me, can I hug you? I said, no. Ya Islam. I know who needs the hug. I don't need a hug. I cannot do it. So now you can understand these things. You can deal with your children and so on when they are in problem and so on, what to do. And that's why our upbringing of our children is wrong. When our child, 2 years, 3 years, boys start crying, what do we say? What do we say? Don't cry, you are a man. So he grew up suppressing his feeling. Crying is the best healing, but good crying. Good crying, maximum 10 minutes. When is the last time you cried? That's why we have problems. So all these things is in our deen, but somebody has to see it. There, the Prophet mentioned this stuff right there. So please, no food after Maghrib. Do it for 1 month and come tell me the result. How are you going to feel? Stay away from junk. It's a disaster.
What is it?
Junk. Stay away from it. And all this stuff, really, it makes you sick. And you see what will happen to you. Because your deen has to target your body. If you have sick body, if you are sick, you cannot worship Allah. You have to know how it starts. That's why Islam says, وَالْمُؤْمِنُ الْقَوِيُّ إيش؟ خير وأحب إلى الله من المؤمن الضعيف. The strong believer is better than the weak believer. Strong in iman, of course, but strong in body. Now look what's happening. And let me tell you another story. I was talking to my mom 5 days ago, and she said, my wife, nephew, what you call her, it's okay, don't worry about that. She said she has a question. What's the question? She is pregnant, and she's asking she should pay or make it up and so on. I said, no, she has to make it up at any time in the future. Then she said, no, she's asking she has to do 2 or just, no, in Islam just 1. Either you make it up or what? You don't pay unless you cannot make it up. Don't go to that. As I told you, fasting is not only to make the days, it's good for you. Then I asked my mom, why she's not fasting? The first answer I can hear, she was happy. When I said, don't do 2, just do the 1. When I ask why she's not fasting, I can hear, you know, the stick shift. But you told me it's okay and this. What kind of sheikh? I've been labeled many times. He's tough, he's this, he's that. No, Allah, I'm not tough. I can give you the fiqh. I'm good in fiqh concession, by the way. If somebody comes and says, Sheikh, can I fast 6 days, not consecutive? I say, you don't have to fast them. You say, mashallah, good sheikh. Okay. So sister Kada, then let me talk to her. So I asked her, you know why you should fast in? That's why it's a crime. Wallah, it's a crime now. Any pregnant woman, any breastfeeding woman, no, fast. No, don't fast. So why we have babies are born with allergies and asthma and all this problem? Why? Because of not fasting. Of course, if you have extreme case, go to your doctor. Nobody will tell me, Sheikh said. But women should fast if they are breastfeeding and pregnant. Why? It purifies the food and the milk that is given to that baby. Because the mother has a lot of toxic, the doctor has just explained to you, and chemicals and problems. And you give it to your baby. That's why babies born with asthma and allergies and problem. 1 year old taking antibiotics. Fasting is the cure. And nobody will die from that. I'm telling you. That's why you go to the dietitian, he will tell you fast. You go to the doctor and say, no, don't fast. Then our children are weak and sick and this and that. So breastfeeding women, when they fast, the baby get the best milk. Pure. no chemicals, no nothing. I wish I have time to go some details. I'm not expert, but when you learn, you understand your deen better. Any question? Yes. The question is, when I'm praying and I arrive to sajda, verse that there is sajda, no, you make sujood, sajda tilawa, no, sajda for that verse, and you stand up. Either you can continue or you can do ruku' immediately. Now, any other question? Yes.
Actually, I have this comment about Dr.
MashaAllah. I know that you are expert, but sometimes I have to inspire you to speak.
So, to justify what you just said, so fasting one day actually increases your immune system.
Yeah.
So, for what Rasulullah said about like fasting one month of Ramadan and
6 days.
6 days, that's 36 days times 10, that's
36, yeah. 360, yeah. MashaAllah, yeah. And also, by the way, deep cleaning for your mouth is once every 2 years. That's what the insurance paid. You know that? And regular cleaning is what?
6 months.
2 every 6 months. That's what you need to do for your stomach. So we have deep cleaning every Ramadan. And every week 2 days. Fast Monday and Thursday. And you will see your health, how it is gonna be. And really you will be surprised how much you get rid of a lot of health that you have. I hope they are not upset with me from upstairs. I took care of them. Okay. Do we have to have what? Wudu when we break our fast? No, you don't have to do. You don't have to have wudu when you break your fast. Even you can wake up in the morning with religious impurity. Means somebody who has relationship with his spouse or her spouse, and you wake up after Fajr without ghusl, still you can fast. Because fasting has nothing to do with wudu or ghusl. But you have to make ghusl in order to pray Fajr. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. We went back to second question, as I told you, how to do it. Because when, it's not easy, it challenges you. And when people touch the black stone and they ask for their needs, is it okay? Yes, it's okay. هذا يجوز ما لم يعتقد الإنسان بأن الحجر الأسود هو الذي يجيبه. This is okay as long as you don't believe that black stone is giving you what you want. Black stone doesn't give you anything. It gives you one thing. What? Shoving and elbowing if you go there. But it doesn't give you anything. But this is a place where you can make dua. It's the place but Allah who gives you. Even you put the Quran doesn't give you anything. It's Allah who gives you. Now, any other question? Yes, Habibi. You are our guest. We didn't see you for a while. Between it? Suicide, yes. We have a huge rate among even Muslims. And we need to address that. And as I told you, not only from a point of view, from both psychological and health point of view.
Has been increased by 25%.
Yes.
So some bring up like, the person, whoever is in like terminal illness, they're all paid, but why the person that get up and go off? Like people need whatnot. But in that case, how should someone deal with that kind of thing? Let's say they're terminally ill.
Somebody who's terminally ill, there are a lot of pain. So some people say it's better to take their life. And number one, what I said in the beginning, the life is not yours. To take it or not to take it, it's not yours. You know your body is not yours. Somebody said, I'm free. You are not free. You know it's haram to shave part of the head and you don't shave another part. You put the hair here and around you shave it. It's haram. Why? It's not fair to the body. It's haram for you, or at least makruh, to sleep half of you in the shade and half of you in the sun. It's haram, or at least not recommended, to walk with one shoes and the other one no. Because this body is not yours. It's haram to put tattoo. This body is trust in your hand. Why we go to the doctors? Why we look for medicine? Is not to increase our life. Our life is determined. Man, you come with expiration date and nobody can play with it. Man play with expiration date of the food, but you, nothing. But why you go to the doctor? Is to maintain your body, is a trust in your hand. That is number one. And number two, when somebody is going through that pain and he's practicing Muslim, this person should thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah wants to receive him clean from the sins. You know, sometimes when we have this case, it's not the patient who's suffering, is us. We are not patient anymore. You know, it's not easy to take care of a sick person. They call it care strain or something. You know, to take care of a sick person, it needs a lot of patience and iman. It's not easy. I told you in counseling, if you are not paying attention, you can get a lot of problems. So when this person is there, the people who are giving them care, they have to know that Allah loves them. He wants to clean them. Maybe they have some sins. Allah wants them to come to Him pure, no sins. Go to Al-Jannah, straightforward. That's why the Prophet ﷺ said in sound hadith, if Allah loves somebody, He will keep testing them and cleaning them through test and tribulation in their wealth, in their health, in their family, until they have one sin left. Allah will make the time of death hard on them. So you come to Allah without sin, it's like coming to America from overseas and you don't have no luggage. Custom tell you what? There is nothing to check. On the other hand, if somebody doesn't love somebody, whenever they do good, Allah pay them here. In their health, in their wealth, in their family, they give it everything. Until they are left with one good deed. Allah make death for them easy. So He comes to him without nothing. So we need to be careful. And if somebody on the life support, we cannot just, the doctor tell you we need to remove it, because doctors under a lot of pressure from the insurance. Every night costing a lot. So in order to pull that, 3 Muslim doctors, or at least 2 trustworthy, that they know what they are talking about, they say that person is dead. Just remove it. It's waste of time now. Yes. MashaAllah. Good question. In the time of the Prophet, is pregnant women fast during? Yes, they used to fast. But if fasting become too much for a pregnant woman or breastfeeding woman, now she fall under sick. She should not fast in this case. At least my mother, she has 10 kids. And you know, in her time, there is nothing called fancy food, just bread, tea, whatever. And she never break her fast in the pregnancy or this or that. So if the woman, she knows herself, she fasts and she feel, no, it's too much for me or whatever, and this and that and that. No, this is, I'm talking about another case. But if she can fast, it's good for her and the baby. That's why, if you go to the fiqh, the scholar will tell you, If she's scared on her baby and herself, look, the word scared, not just in our mind, wallah, I'm this and that and that. And I give you, and why I'm speaking, by the way, this is a quotation from scholar of nutrition and so on, because unfortunately, what happened to the faqih now, the sheikh, he studies just fiqh. He doesn't study psychology and nutrition. And this is a disaster. That's why I tell many sheikh, please, when you have problem counseling, you refer it to a counselor. It's not enough to say the person, yeah, you need to be patient, this. No, it's much deeper. The same happen in medicine. Doctors, they don't study psychology and they don't study nutrition. Maybe a few courses here and there. I don't know why. But this is the reality. So when you go to a dietitian and you tell her the case, she will tell you, let me see the blood test or whatever and so on. She can tell you, yeah, you can fast. And I know a lot of people now, I'm following this, with other diseases, and they fasted and their health improved. But again, as I said, if you fall into that, is become hard and it's gonna harm you or your baby, now you have the concession to break your fast. But answering the question, yes, they used to fast and they used to do everything, and nothing wrong with that. When we make mistakes, should we give sadaqah? No. When you make mistake, depends on the mistake. If it's serious mistake, you need to repent. If it's small mistakes, say astaghfirullah and move on with your life. I always ask Allah, He never answer me. How do you know? That is the question. How do you know? Well, He didn't give me what I asked. Maybe it's not good for you. He gave you something else. Allah will answer you in three ways. Either He gives you what you ask because He's good for you, because He's Allah's Rahim. Allah is treating us like we treat our children. Imagine your child, little one, cry, you know, one day, say one day. A cookie that is going to kill his teeth or whatever, you don't give it to him. Why? Because it's not good for him. We don't know what is good for us. That is the number one. Or Allah might not give you what you ask and He give you something else better for you. That's why I told you the Muslim always watches the ni'am of Allah left and right. And number three, He might not give you what you ask. He might not give you something else. He might take away problem coming to you. Sometimes it's better to take problem than to give me something else. But Allah will answer you. As long as you don't despair. How you despair? You ask Allah then, and you give up. And by the way, that is talk of the ibadah. The first thing of ibadah that we need to worship is dua. Dua has nothing to do with your answering you. Dua is ibadah. And why you do the ibadah? Why you do the ibadah? If you don't answer, I'm gonna stop. Because Allah created you, He provided for you, and He guided you. So the dua is ibadah. Answering your dua is a gift from Him. So don't put that as condition. Don't link the two. That's why when we make dua a lot. Because ibadah, you get a lot of reward for the ibadah. Answering your dua is up to Him. So sister, just keep doing dua. Don't, Allah is Kareem. I am a Muslim convert for incurred before Islam. I have debt, loans before Islam, forgiven by Allah, or does it have to be paid before I die? Wallahi, sister, depends on what kind of loans. Maybe you might need to talk to somebody in private, but I can give a general idea. If you can pay it, that is the best. If you cannot, khalas, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive you, inshallah. But just have the intention to take care of it. Any other question? Huh? Which tissue? I thought tissue, that's why I told use it for not crying. Now they are using it for fatwa. Allahu Akbar. Is music haram? Can I answer this one another night? This is the night of 27. Let's enjoy the night of 27. How do you mention patience during hardship? How do you get if a non-Muslim asks for dua? How do you do dua? If non-Muslim asks for dua, and we have one, I want you to say Ameen. Because if Allah answers, we're going to get some money. May Allah make it happen. Say Ameen. May Allah make it happen. May Allah guide them. May Allah give us that money, inshallah. When we get it, I tell you what I'm talking about. So for non-Muslim, the best dua, that Allah will guide them. That is the best dua. But if they ask something for the dunya, you can make dua for them. If he said, Wallah, I have my son sick, said, may Allah give them speedy recovery. Anything for the dua, it's okay. The only thing you should not ask is what? Forgiveness if they die. That's it. Otherwise, many people I make dua for them because they are human beings. Patient during hardship, really patient is the low level. Even in the time of hardship, you should thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because that hardship could be worse. That hardship is in your wealth, not in your health. That hardship is in your health, not in your deen. As long as your deen is safe, say Alhamdulillah. Ya Allah, the last question. MashaAllah, we have 3. Let's give to this young brother.
Zakat on retirement account.
Huh?
Zakat on retirement account.
Zakat on retirement. I choose the right question, mashallah. I like money. Zakat on the retirement. What kind of retirement? 401k? Yeah. There is no zakat on social security. Unless you get it. It's your money, but you don't have access to it. 401k, if you have access to it, you have to pay zakat on 60% of it. Because if you take it now, they will charge tax and penalty because early taking it. So pay on 60%, inshallah. MashaAllah. Can you please make dua that Allah bless me with a good husband soon? With good husband, that's okay, inshallah. Let's make. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless this sister with a good, pious Muslim husband. That he will take care of her and that he will help her in her deen and dunya. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless every sister that she doesn't have a husband with the best husband, inshallah. That he takes care of them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give this sister and any sister that they don't have husband, the best husband that can make their life the best in deen and dunya. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant the brothers who don't have wife with the best wives that can make them also happy in the deen and the dunya, inshallah. Really, marriage is a curve. Either makes you or break you. I told you about broken hearts. Buy and selling bitcoins is haram. When shaitan was created, male or female? Well, I didn't attend the haqiqah to see, so I don't know. No, he's male. He's male because he's the father of jinn. Buy and selling bitcoins is haram. I told you, because there is a lot of question mark on that. You stay away from it. Yallah. Jazakum Allahu khayran. Yallah, go ahead.
What are the etiquettes of making dua?
The etiquette of making dua: be on wudu, facing the qibla, choose the right time, the right place, and try to do something good before you make dua. A sadaqah, calling your parents, helping somebody, because subhanallah, that good deeds will speed up the dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ya Allah, inshallah, jazakumullahu khairan. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us another chance to meet again and again and again. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this our best Ramadan, but not our last Ramadan. Jazakumullahu khairan. When Am Mahmoud? Ya Imam, sleeping? I thought he was in the beach. Ya Allah, Am Mahmoud. May Allah help you. Let's make dua for Mahmoud. May Allah bless you, Habibi. May Allah reward you. May Allah protect you. May Allah make this Quran testify for you, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this Quran blessing for you and your wife and your parents and your family, inshallah. So you're going to make wudu? Okay, inshallah. So now if you want to renew your wudu, and please, while you are waiting, make that dua of Laylat al-Qadr. Allahumma innaka fa'fu anni. I hope I didn't offend anyone. What I said, if you don't want to take it, that's fine. If you want to take it, that's fine. But inshallah, I hope that Allah will bless us and reward us, inshallah.
The perfume with alcohol is
Yeah, that's why actually what mention is so correct about not eating during the night, because when you are in the daytime you're being active, so you burn it out at the food moves. At night it doesn't move. It's
To
not-
come.
There's no calories to. I mean, I really appreciate your so much in depth.
You are in front of me, so I was taking my chance.
Don't just
Because
say,
if there is
agree
any
with
mistake-
everything you say.
No, if there is any mistake, you
No,
will
no,
correct me. That's
it
why
is everything.
I was taking my
Do
freedom.
you know the first few days during Ramadan, why do you feel so weak?
Detox.
Detox.
Yeah,
It gets to
yeah,
your blood.
yeah,
After
detox.
a week, you feel so good.
Yes, I was going to give it. Assalamu alaikum. Please, if you are leaving, leave or be inside, because the neighbors, they are asleep. They don't have no qiyam. So we don't want to bother them, inshallah. So either leave or be inside. Don't be outside, because it's almost 2 o'clock. And these neighbors, they are so kind. MashaAllah, they are very patient with us. May Allah guide them and bless them.